Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Trek Trailer RV. We are here at the 2024 National Western Stock Show and Rodeo in Denver, Colorado. We're about halfway in the middle of the show of the 16 days of the National Western. I'm joined today by Anthony Gelvin with Cimarron Trailers. Anthony?
Glad to be here, CJ.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys did leave the freezer door open, by the way.
It's a little chilly. I think the hogs are moving in right now, and it is a little chilly up here.
It's a little cold. It's warm in the booth, though.
Yes, it is. So come on by. We're at the Stadium Hall Level 2, row 1400, but we've got some awesome Cimarrons to show everybody.
Probably the best display of Cimarron trailers that I've seen you guys have here. And what it does is it shows everything that Cimarron and Transwest can do, whether you're in the horse, show cattle, pin trailers, hunter jumper style horses. So great mix.
Yeah, some of the best variety to kind of cover all the bases here at the show and everybody competing. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump into some cool trailers. So very first one is this 2024 Cimarron Showstar LX. This is an air ride 8-pin. This guy is loaded up with options. One thing that we've noticed over the last couple of years is bigger front tack rooms. Everybody wants.
They do. You take so much with you on these shows that you need, and you don't want to forget anything, and it gives you the room and the versatility to put everything in here you need. And as you're seeing right now, you guys spec these out with what we call cargo airliner track on the wall. There's tons of options for fasteners on there, and it really gives you a lot of options for loading all your tack in.
Yep, absolutely. We did a couple rows of them. You can go on, you can get different hooks, you can strap items to it, you can hang stuff from it. It gives a lot of flexibility. Your big utility hooks, I love those, especially, those are kind of a mix between the bridle hooks on the horse trailers, but a little bit larger and deeper off the wall and good spacing. So on these guys, big hoses, big cords, they're hanging on there, they're not falling off. But a 6-foot front tack room. One thing you're going to notice is that gray rubber flooring. That's something we've really incorporated on quite a few trailers, not just in the livestock trailer side, but in the equine side as well. It's a cool floor.
Easy to keep clean. It just looks nice. You don't get any odor like you would get from carpet in there or mildew. It's been a great option for us. And a couple things I wanted to point out in these tack rooms when you look at them is, when you put carpet on the walls to protect those walls and your tack, it can get dark in there. So one of the things is we make sure we put plenty of light in there, and you guys do a great job of adding those extra lights in there. So when you're loading at night, you can see what you're doing.
You never have enough lights, in my opinion, and we loaded it up on lights.
Absolutely.
And that'll be a common theme as we walk through these trailers that we're going to show you here. But this one here is a 6-foot front tack. I mean, I remember when, this is bad. I remember back in the day when we used to do a 4-foot front tack on these, and now it's really expanded. I mean, we've got some 10 pins on order at the lot. They're 8-foot tacks, and again, we haul a lot of items with us. It's great because you can have some tack in the trailer, and then you have some in the barn, and we don't have to unload, so we can leave those type of items right here on the trailer.
Absolutely.
But on this guy here, and another theme that you're going to notice as we start walking through is this is an air ride trailer. I mean, we put a lot of emphasis. We got a cool display that we're going to show you here in a little bit as we walk through this, but this is an air ride 8-pin that we have right here. Let's dive into the stall area and check out some of the options on this. First thing is you're going to have the side ramp when you come in. You're going to start noticing on all the gates too, you got the one that goes across the ramp, but as we get into the pin system, you're going to notice these are white gates, and the reason why is they're powder coated, and we went with white on this one just because it works really well with the lighting and brightens it up. But boy, white hogs, sheep, goats, we don't have to worry about them rubbing against these gates, getting those black marks on them.
It's a nice feature too, and one of the options that we have at Cimarron is with that powder coating, we have a lot of different colors you can do this. So if you've got a barn color or farm color that you want to match this, if you're custom ordering a trailer, we can match this powder coat to virtually any color that you want, and match the worm flooring that you put in here. And tell them a little bit about the worm flooring, CJ.
Yeah, so same thing. You're going to notice a theme on all these trailers here is worm flooring. Over the last few years, we've been selling so many custom trailers that everybody keeps putting worm flooring, so we're starting to incorporate it so much more on our inventory pieces because we kept having even customers after the fact say, okay, I want that trailer you have on the lot, but I need worm, I want that. So in this one here, we got the worm. Worm works fantastic on these pin trailers. Mats don't work in this because hogs will root up those mats, and it's kind of a pain there. But when you take mats out of this, because of all these posts, it is hard getting those mats back in there. So that's why another reason why we like the worm.
I don't have the patience for a puzzle, and that's exactly what it is when you're putting those mats back in.
Yeah.
So love the way you guys set this up. This is a trailer that's set up that you can show out of a facility like Denver, or it's really set up with the way the gates are designed.
Yeah.
You can jackpot out of this trailer and show out of it. You can convert these gates over so you've got a big pin here. And then you can work out of this alleyway, and you can actually show and jackpot out of this trailer. So it's so versatile.
Yeah, you can work off either the side ramp, the rear ramps on this, on the back doors. But, you know, and that's what I love about this is that we don't have to unpin anything and move that gate. It's as simple. I mean, it's a one-handed motion. You can change these pins in a matter of seconds.
One of our things that we do at Cimarron, and whether it's in the stock, the equine side of it, anything, our theory is, and if you stop and think about it, it really is as simple. You're leading an animal with you everywhere, whether it's a horse or anything. We always want all of our latches and our gates that you can operate with one hand.
Yes.
So from a safety standpoint, from an ease, any latch or anything that we do it with one hand. So you've got a lead rope or anything in your other hand. We try to do that.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely. These pins are a little bit shorter. We went the shorter option. Normally they're 37 inches. We cut 6 inches off. Especially hogs, the customers in the hog world really like the shorter gates so they can lean over. You know, whether it's grabbing a feed bucket, something along those lines. A feeder, as you see the rods on the actual gate, we like to do 2 rods per side. That way, as projects maybe start to get a little bit bigger, you know, you've got the capability to move those. But
again, versatility.
And on this, we did a couple different things. We did this almost kick mat. I mean, that's what I kind of refer to it as because it comes from the horse side of things. But we did this lower rubber kick mat all the way around to protect the aluminum sheets. Again, as white animals start to rub against things, you know, we're not getting those black marks. Let's see, what else? We got line and insulate on the side walls. We have the plexiglass on the fold down slabs.
Here's a nice option that, again, is available from Cimarron and Transwest is putting fans in here, right?
Yeah.
So this trailer is equipped with our 110 package. So it's set up, you can plug in the shore power, or it's got brackets underneath the nose where you can mount your own generator underneath there. So when you're going down the road or you get to a jackpot, you can run these fans. It's mounted in air ladder track. Again, it's very versatile. You see there's different locations all throughout this trailer where you can move these pans or the fans and customize it to whatever you're hauling. So huge option here that's available. On the other side, place to put those dirty feed pans, right? So where do we do it? You don't want it in the tack room. So we've actually added feed pan storage up out of the way on the side.
So you can just take your carabiners and hook them right here to this rod and get them up out of the way. So as you're working and doing things, you can literally just take a feeder and hook it right here, do what you need to, go back, grab it, take it to the front tack, whether they're mixing up more feed. You know, you see the outlets in the top rail. That's what we're talking about with the power package. And again, a ton of those LED lights.
This is a cool option.
Yeah, yeah. Air
Speaking of
conditioner.
cool.
Yeah, so 13.5 BTU air conditioner right here in the stall area. That's why we wanted to do the line and insulate on all the walls. Insulated roof standard on every single Cimarron. And I almost feel like when you put worm on the floor, you've almost created a little bit more insulation there. So.
I think that's a definite. You get that 5/8 thick of that rubber worm product to insulate that aluminum floor a little bit. So this one's set up perfect. When I look at all the different ones that we manufacture at Cimarron and see, I don't know that I'd change anything. This thing is set up.
It's hard loaded.
Yes, it is.
Yep, and that's why we wanted to set it up that way, is just so, you know, when you come here to the booth at Stock Show, you can see some of these options. And that's the way a lot of these trailers are as we work through them. One of the other cool little things we have right here is a stock box, Cimarron stock box. So we sell these. The most popular lengths that we carry are 60 and 72. We can do some other lengths.
Yep.
But this one's a 72, and this is a fairly new feature. It was here last year as well. But a lot of our actual stock boxes that we have on hand or on order have this, and this is the store at the side gate.
Yep.
So as you can see, 50/50, and the same concept as the gates we just looked at. We just flip it over, and it stores at the side.
Absolutely. Makes this again, makes this stock box so versatile. You can do a lot of things with it. Whether you're picking up a lot of babies or you're putting something bigger in here, you can use this stock box for a lot of different things.
Yeah, over about the next couple months, we'll get a lot of calls on these stock boxes. I mean, listen, you're headed to another state to go pick up maybe a couple hogs, a couple lambs, a couple goats.
Don't want to haul the trailer?
I don't want to haul that. Let's throw this in the back of the truck, save on some fuel mileage, make it a little easier.
Nice thing is you guys put floor in 99% of the ones you order, so when you take it out of the box, you don't have manure or shavings in there. You can take it out, your truck's back to normal.
Yep, and we're also a big fan of doing the 7-pin plug, so you get your light in there. You got to think about it, you know, our cargo light on our truck, I mean, it's on the back of the cab there, and it's going to hit the top of this box, and you have no light coverage here, so it's nice to have the light actually in there.
Absolutely. Oh, great setup.
Yep. We got another cool one right here.
This is the Showstar.
Yeah, this guy's awesome. So this is a 2024 Cimarron Steer Walt Signature Series. This is a 30-foot air ride trailer. I mean, the very first thing you're going to notice is that guy looks cool.
It's shiny.
Yeah.
This has our polished stainless sheet on it. So we have color options. You can do white, charcoal, silver, black. But this, you guys opted to do the polished stainless on it. It's a looker.
Yeah.
You're not going to be missed when you pull in with this thing.
No, it is good looking. It ties in so well with the extrusion that's polished as well. You guys do a great job. I mean, the top rails, the bottom rails, I mean, everything looks and just ties together in this type of a
Absolutely.
setup. And then same thing, larger tacks.
Larger tacks.
I remember back when, Anthony, 4-foot front tack was standard on these guys. Yeah, and now, you know, this one here's a 6-foot. We like this setup. We like a 30-foot with a 6-foot front tack room, 24-foot stall area. Tack fits extremely well in this because our upright boxes, our blower carts, our fan carts, maybe even a portable generator, even though there's a spot underneath the front to put a generator underneath the nose of this one here, we can actually stack all that in here and it fits really well. And because of the polish, what do we have to do on the inside there?
Well, actually, you'll notice the diamond tread plate. So when we do that, if you've ever been or have had a polished stainless trailer before, it can ding from the inside, and you can see it from a mile away when it does. So one of the things that we do at Cimarron, whenever the outside of the trailer is polished, we'll line the inside of that with that tread bright. And so if you're taking a box or something and it bumps up against it, it's not affecting the outside look of your trailer. So it's protecting that stainless so it still maintains that look. So.
Yeah, think about a lot of times you're throwing fans up there, you're throwing some different bars up there. It'll be glaring from the outside of this polished look. So that's why it's lined on the inside. If we go with like black, you know, another color, we don't necessarily have to do that. But when you incorporate that with those LEDs in there, I mean, everything.
Yeah, I've been around these, we all been around them at night. When you're loading at night, holy cow, you can see.
Yeah, and again, look at the top rail on this trailer, and again, we loaded it up with LED.
It is. One of the things that I did want to point out before we leave the tack room, it's a new change that we've done. So whenever you order a 110 package now from Cimarron, it comes standard with a converter. What does that converter do for me? So when you're plugged into shore power or you're running off your generator, you're doing it at night, you're going to want all your dome lights and your loading lights running, and that's pulling directly off your battery. So what we don't want is if you're spending an hour and a half loading and the lights are pulled down and you got to put the jack on or you're ready to go, with that converter, when you have 110 power, it is charging your battery for your jack so you can run your load lights. You don't have to worry about it running that battery down. That used to be an older style system, so we recently changed. It's a lot more complex. It's not 2 components, it's 1 component. So all your breakers, your converter are all in one smaller component. It allows to take up less room in that drop wall. And so now that's, when you order a 110 package from Cimarron, that's what it's going to look like. So.
And we got the gray rubber in there. We got the airliner track. I mean, again, we like incorporating a lot of that just because of what we're putting in that front tack room, securing it, and protecting that floor and that drop.
Absolutely. As we get back into the stock area, one of the features that's real popular on this is our fold down slat.
Yeah.
So cold, raining, you can close it up going down the road, but you need some more air, you can just fold that down. Now you've got air in there, and it just fits. And when it's close, if you don't know it's there, you really have to hunt for it. Correct. So it just fits in real seamless. And then you've got your 2 air gaps up above. with removable plexiglass. And again, the plexiglass, you don't need any tools to take this out. It's handy if you have a little pocket knife to pry that edge up, but real simple to take in and out.
And I love this because this is a larger air opening versus if we were doing the 3 air gaps with plexiglass. Because the plexiglass is, you know, it's about 3-4 inches. This is a lot wider, so we get a lot more airflow down. The chest floor on a calf is its radiator, so if we can get that air down there, keeping them nice and cool, that's where we want to get that air. And it's on the gas shock. So again, you leave on a really cold morning, have it up, and it starts warming up. It's real simple to just open that up.
No tools needed.
No tools needed.
Yep.
Absolutely. Let's go into the staller. You got your side ramp. We moved this side ramp back a little bit. And some customers say, you know, we used to have it right behind the tack room, but there's a reason why. If this ramp is up towards the front of this trailer, and we have a couple calves parked right here in the front, and we open these up, on this driver's side, we're getting a little bit of air, but we're not getting any air to these front calves with that ramp because it's solid.
Yes.
So shift it back. As we're starting to travel, we're going to start to get that airflow coming in through this lower air gap right here, and it's going to catch those first calves and then work back. So that's one thing that we've done here pretty recently is we've shifted this back. We can still build it with that ramp forward, but we like this setup from that standpoint.
It works well. Like you said, you can load and tie up here and you're still getting some air to those animals.
Yeah. This is a cool thing, right, Anthony?
Well, for a 6'3" guy, if I had a penny for every time I've whacked my head on one of these, so the Transwest orders these, anytime we have a ramp opening or a door opening, try to put a head pad on there just to save it a little bit. So
this trailer's 6'4" tall, so obviously with these type of openings, we have to have the proper framework so it drops those headers a little bit. And it's nice to have those pads, and yeah, we try to incorporate those kind of throughout. So.
Absolutely.
As you come in, again, on the floor, you're going to notice we're pretty patriotic, and this is a red, white, and blue worm flooring. Again, we don't have to worry about mats. It's permanent, it's unpenetrable, so we're not allowing that urine to get down there to the floor. And again, nobody wants to wrestle those mats anyway. So in this instance here, you've got worm flooring. It is definitely a nice feature, and again, another just item that we put to these trailers. And again, it's very popular.
Very popular for sure. Yep.
A lot of lights in here, tie rails high and low, so you got the ability to tie calves up and down.
One of the features I like is on the gates too. So a lot of your 30-foot trailers that you guys build in the steer walls, it just works well to have 2 traveling gates in there. And in a second, you're going to show them how one works. But what we like to do is be able to actually, when you're not using, maybe you only want to use one in here, or no gates at all, both of these can store right at that partition wall. So it's not going to take up a bunch of space in here.
Correct.
So again, trailers have to be very versatile nowadays because you want one trailer that can maybe do 2 or 3 things for you. So with this, both these gates can store right up against this wall and still leave you a lot of open space here.
Yep, absolutely. So 2 traveling gates. Like Anthony said, that one's stored up against there. If you notice that gate, a little different design. Again, we probably don't do enough of it. We probably don't go from horse trailers, livestock, and try to kind of cross some things. But we've done a better job the last few years on really trying to look at some things. And on the horse world, one really popular option is airflow dividers instead of solid to get some airflow. Again, we want airflow to all these animals, keeping them nice and comfortable as we're traveling. But we've kind of incorporated that on this gate.
It does. A lot of the gates that everybody's used to seeing look like what the rear gate looks like. So solid and maybe one air gap or solid all the way. And again, we talk about, we get cattle in here loaded, they're putting off heat, it's in the summertime. How do we get air? So you're getting it on the sides with your fold down, but what if we could get that moving up higher through here?
Absolutely.
And so one of the options we've done that came over from the equine side is put these bar type here just to get some more air moving through the entire trailer.
Absolutely. So 2 traveling gates on this one. I'm actually going to demonstrate how easy it is. I'll kind of get to the other side of this one. Both of these are 48-inch swings with no threshold. So we don't actually have to worry about cattle stepping over an actual threshold itself. So you can bed it down, but I'll flip the locks over. Once you unpin it, these gates come off the top as far as the ceiling on the rail goes, and you pretty much, if you're in the middle of this, it is that simple to slide this gate.
One of the things I like when we designed this gate at Cimarron, and there's been many versions of it, and a lot of dealers help this and listen to the customers, is we wanted this gate where children can move it, right? So they can come in, they don't need to get dad, or you don't need two adults to do it, where the kids can come in and unpin it and move it by themselves without doing that. And this version that we're running today, I think it really is probably our best version, probably one of the best trailing gates I've seen in the market. Yeah. It just works and it functions and it's simple. So.
Absolutely. And you can even be bedded pretty deep in here, and because it comes off the ceiling, you can actually manipulate that gate forward or backwards.
Yep.
If you're bedded deep when you're going to move it. And then your flexibility to be able to put it on every single post, and then where we have a little bit larger post for wheel wells, door frames, we notch. So you've got every foot you can set one of these gates, and we run it just a couple feet off the back. So you have the ability to really manipulate these stall sizes all you want. And in today's world, I mean, you know, here we're here at Denver, so you might be hauling a bull, you might be hauling a cow calf pair, you might be hauling some bred heifers, some younger heifers as well. And to be able to go, well, I got two 10-foot stalls, how am I gonna do this? Maybe I'm wasting one with just the bull. Now we can actually manipulate this. We can put the pair together, we separate the bull. Whether it's 3 compartments, 2 compartments, 1. Again, these traveling gates, that's the only way to go.
It's all about versatility. You got to do a lot of things with one trailer, and that's what we've tried to do is make it so a lot of flexibility, right? That's the key word. So, absolutely.
And you guys, and as we get through all these trailers, but you guys put a lot of emphasis on, I mean, everything's got a radius to it. Nothing 90 degrees, no sharp angles. This has become now a standard feature is the tapered fenders.
It changes every year because we listen to our customers and our dealers. Hey, what do we want to do a little bit different to make it? So everybody wants the trailer that looks cool and it's shiny and neat, but the number one on the list at Cimarron trailers, and it flows through with Transwest, is safety, right? You're putting part of your family in here, whether it's equine, show cattle, market cattle, anything like that. It needs to be safe. And first thing, and then structurally, we want our trailer to last 30, 35 years. So that's why we do a lot of things, a bigger tube here just where we need it. We have engineers on staff at Cimarron, degreed mechanical engineers, and they run these things through the ringer. CJ will tell you, they come up with a lot of really interesting concepts with their customers. Can you do that? We sit down with our engineers and go, hey, here's what we want. From a structural standpoint, is this trailer going to live? Is it going to hold up and meet Cimarron's requirements and what we do? That's a huge tool to have engineers on staff that can help us make sure and give that peace of mind to you guys as a dealer and your customers and our customers. So
yeah, absolutely
perfect.
I mean, what a great stall area in here, and good options as far as the gates go. Now as you come out, on each side of this trailer, we're going to have exterior tie rails high and low, so you can actually, whether you're showing off of this or even potentially using this as tie outs when you're at a show. Yep. We like to have them on both sides because depending on where you park, what's the shaded side, not a hot afternoon when you're at a junior nationals. And if you want to tie up, again, you've got that capability. And as we get back here to the axle area, you know, this is a spread axle air ride trailer that we're looking at right here. But we've got a spread axle. It's becoming more and more popular. Tell us a little bit about that.
No, the spread axle design, there's two things with it. Anytime you can distribute that weight more, what it's going to do is pull some tongue weight off your tow vehicle, and it's going to make it a smoother ride. So let's just talk about spread with non-air ride. We build a lot of those, right? And again, when you think about those concrete joints in a highway or the bridge joints, and you know, I'm from Oklahoma, and our roads are rough, right? So it makes a big difference. So we spread that apart a further 10 inches than a standard axle. And then when you add the air ride on it, I tell people every time, they say, is it worth it? Once you pull an air ride trailer, you'll never want to pull anything but an air ride trailer. It makes that much difference. So it's made by Dexter. It's called their Airflex system. We've been using this air ride system for as long as I can remember. And the reason we do that, because it just works. It's simple, right? Mm-hmm. So if anything fails on that air ride system, problem with the compressor, you hit a road hazard and it cuts an air line, or God forbid, damages one of the bags, it reverts to and is going to function just like a rubber torsion axle. What does that mean in simple terms is you're not stranded on the side of the road. You can pull it home. You're not going to damage your trailer. You're not going to injure or hurt your livestock because it's kind of riding like a hardtail Harley. You still have that rubber torsion suspension. So the air ride is a very popular. We build a ton of air ride trailers every week.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And on this one here, we did 17.5-inch Alcoa wheels, 18 ply Continentals. We have two 8,000-pound axles underneath this guy.
It's got the right running gear.
It really does, and it does look good.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's got a good look to it. I mean, again, this one here is a showstopper. I mean,
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Another thing that Transwest does on a lot of their trailers, you'll see that extra light right there. As these trailers get longer, when you're turning in, the blinkers are working on the back.
Correct.
But people don't pay attention when they're driving, right?
Yes.
So one of the things this does is that acts as a marker light and a turn signal. So it just gives people say, hey, yeah, I'm turning.
Yeah.
And it's just a safety thing that we do, and you guys put it on probably 75% of your trailers.
Yeah, we do a lot of the 8 wides, especially the LQs, these bigger, longer trailers. It's just a very small upgrade that I think is well worth it.
Yep.
But yeah, we're big components of that one.
Absolutely.
There, so during the show, obviously Anthony's here representing Cimarron Trailers. Lance Bagby, the world famous from Outlaw Conversions, is here for a couple days.
Absolutely.
We did a full walkthrough video on the Outlaw trailer itself the other day, so we're glad to have Lance here.
Absolutely.
There's Avon.
This is a handy little trailer right here.
Oh yeah. So this is now we're converting over to the horse world.
Yes.
So, and especially we get into the big horses, our warm bloods. You know, bigger horses need bigger trailers. So what we have here is we've got a 2024 Cimarron warm blood, a 2-horse straight load. This one's 7'7" tall, so there we get that extra height that you need for those bigger horses. But what a cool little trailer we got here.
No, it's set up perfect. And again, with those taller trailers, you need a little more length in a stall.
Yes.
You need a little more height in it. Versatility, right? Some people like a slant load. Some people like a straight load, reverse load. Here at Cimarron, we're a custom manufacturer, so we can build those trailers however we want to. We'll walk into this. One of the things that we do that I really, really like is butt bars and chest bars. Some of them can be just real cumbersome of how they work, how you attach it. Again, we try to think of halter in a hand. Can we do this with one hand rather than hold it? So this is a real simple. This is a piece that we have. You can just move this divider or this bar and get it out of the way. It's a one-hand operation, no pins. Now in the event you want to pull this totally out, there's a pin over here. Yes. You can take it out. Again, one of the options you're going to show us in a little bit is versatility of this trailer.
Yeah.
That's seems to be the theme with the other trailers we've looked at, versatility. Again, you guys will see the worm floor, no mats to wrestle around, do anything. Backup lights are an option as we see this here. You guys do that again. Again, safety piece. You're backing up to the barn at night or you're loading, you were late showing that day, backup lights, you can see where you're parking that trailer.
Absolutely, yeah. We all get into unfamiliar places at dark and need that. And then here's where the flexibility of this guy really comes into play when we're talking about this. So this divider that we have sitting here, not only do we have this 2-horse straight load, but as you can see, we can unpin it. Once it's unpinned, we can slide it against the wall, pin it back into place. We just made a box stall.
Mare foal, side by side, 4-wheeler, golf cart, furniture.
Yes. Versatility.
Yes.
This is just what we looked at on that steer Walt. We just turned it sideways.
Turned it sideways.
Yeah.
Same mechanism that we've been using for years. So it's a proven roller system and extrusion that we use. We just turned it sideways. Did the same thing with it. So full on the bottom.
Yes.
Bar type all the way on the head. Again, we talked about airflow. It's big in the equine. It's getting bigger in the show cattle and pin trailer stuff, and we're crossing those things over. So.
And the reason why this is a full is we just need that strength there to do what we just did right there, to be able to slide it over. So that's where the engineering part comes into play.
Yep.
Hey, it's going to function better if we do it like this. This has become a very popular trailer. The other one is one with a side ramp too in this type of a setup. So we can do this in a bumper pull. Our 2+1s are unbelievable sellers.
Head-to-heads, all that. So we have done a great job, and we sell a bunch of straight load trailers, whether from this all the way up to a 6-horse head-to-head type of trailer that you see some of the commercial haulers use and things like that. So a lot of things we can do.
Yep. You got your rear ramp, you got your Dutch doors above it. One of the last things, this is actually something that we do at Transwest right here. I know you guys offer cameras,
Yep.
but we installed this here for the show. This is a 2-camera system. What's really nice about this system is, and we'll show you the monitor here in a second, but we got a backup camera, and then we have a stall camera. So we can do these in systems of 2 cameras, or we can go up to 4 cameras. It's a different monitor, but we've got the capability now to where we have a backup camera on this trailer when we're backing up, but we can also keep an eye on the horses as we're traveling.
Absolutely. No, great option to do.
Yeah. So right over here is the actual monitor itself. What's awesome about the actual cameras are they tap into the marker lights. So that's how we power them. And then you're gonna have this monitor that is 12-volt power. So we can plug it into a cigarette lighter, and now I can move it from tow vehicle to tow vehicle. There's the backup. Wave to us, Anthony. There he is. And then there's your stall area. So you can kind of keep an eye on things, go to a split, so you can actually see the back of the trailer. You can see the stall area.
And again, if you look at that stall area, I mean, you can see, you have horses in here, you can see what's going on.
Yep.
It's nice to see if something's happening, one of them's having trouble, you can pull over and take care of things.
Absolutely. As we get into the bigger trailers, whether it's like an LQ or multiple horses, we've got customers that usually do a backup, and then they'll put a couple in the stall area, kind of split, spread them out a little bit.
I think we got to show them the air ride.
Absolutely, we better show it. But we've been talking about it forever, and I'm glad you mentioned it, Anthony. But anytime we talk to customers, the most common thing I hear is, I will never own another trailer without air ride. I mean,
we hear it
is
all the time. We build about 4 to 5 trailers a week that have air ride and out of it. So more than a third of what we build, we do air ride. It's that popular of an option, and we do it because it just works so good.
Yes.
And this display, it really shows it without us all crawling on the ground and looking at it. You can see one of the things that I really, really like about the system that we use, it's simple and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Space is very valuable on any of these trailers.
Absolutely.
Totally self-contained control unit here. Has an on-off switch, has a pressure gauge, and a very simple raise and lower valve. So you turn it there, it dumps it. So you get to a show and you want that step height lower a little bit, you can let the air out of it, and that thing's gonna drop 3 to 4 inches.
And we just saw it. I mean, we just looked at a bunch of trailers with air ride and had side ramps, rear ramps. So think about it. Anytime you're loading and unloading, when it's aired up, the ramp is steeper. When you lower it, the ramp is, we take away some of that. So it's a lot simpler getting in, on and off those trailers, and heck, even just stepping into tack rooms. It's lower for us to get in and out of it.
A lot of our customers I'll see when they get to the show, they'll dump the air out of it. Yeah. The nice thing with this AirFlex system, again, I mentioned it reverts back to torsion. So if you dump it and you're at the barn and you're gonna go around and park in the parking lot, you don't even need to put the air up. You can just leave it down. That other way, as you're getting in and out of it through the show, you can do it. And then when you're done, ready to go, and you're loaded, put it in the raised position, raises up. You heard the compressor kick on. It's airing it back up.
This is a little more dramatic. We don't have the weight of a trailer on this.
It's not going to be that fast.
Yeah, it's not going to be that fast. But this is great to see it because, again, it's so simple. When you're driving, you turn it on, you put it in the raised position, and you go.
Simple.
It's that
One of the
simple.
things, too, on our air ride system is, it's an option that we've chosen to do on ours is, so you have those airbags on that. Ours also have the shocks on there just to take out any little bounce that you would get from an airbag. Everybody's seen the semi-trailers going down the road, and you'll see them kind of move a little bit.
Yep.
Well, we put a shock at each airbag, and just kind of helps keep that so you don't have as much up and down motion. And if you've ever followed or driven behind a Cimarron with air ride, it's amazing. It's amazing.
As I'm driving one, it's funny. I'll hit maybe a a bridge. You get that big transition, and,
Yep.
and you feel it in the truck, and you look back to that trailer, and those axles are working, but that box is steady.
You talk about the camera system. That's the proof is in that. If you have a trailer with a camera system with air ride, have a camera system with a trailer that doesn't have air ride, and look at what your Livestock does, and then an air ride, and the amount of movement that you don't see in that Livestock is night and day. So
yeah, I mean, we've heard customers say, cattle lay down like they're in the barn, and we've heard stories, whether it's, trainers going to shows long distances, coming to Denver long distances, and a lot of customers have said, I can take a day off of recovery time. That is time away from home. That is added expense on the road.
Absolutely.
Motels, meals. I mean, the works. And if the animals can step off the trailer fresh, we're
Less
going to
stressed.
compete. I mean,
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, that's what we're going to do. So
everything we're hauling here, these guys are athletes, right?
Yes.
And so the fresher they can be and more relaxed when they show up,
Absolutely.
the better you're going to be at competing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So on this, and this is a great just breakdown and view of the air ride system itself. A couple things we like to do is we like to put an auto drain on the bottom of ours as well. It comes with a cable to clear those lines. Air creates condensation. Condensation can freeze in this balmy weather we have outside right now, which will cause potential air leaks and problems for us. This guy here, we've actually taken, it's from the commercial side of it. Like you said, semis that have airbags. I know a lot of motorhomes have these on their systems. This guy here, it will just anytime it notices some of that stuff, it just spits it out for us. So it's keeping that system nice and clean for us.
Absolutely.
One other thing that we put on this is red arc. We've actually put we have red arc on some of these trailers we have on display here. This is an actual 3-stage charger for that 12-volt battery. So as we get into these trucks, like that camera system we just looked at, if our battery might be a little bit low, we turn those guys on and we're driving, and maybe we've got lights on in the stall area. We're traveling at night so we can see with those cameras. Well, our truck is going to work as a trickle charger to it, but it's really only going to maintain because we're using that power, and we're trying to charge it up from the truck. But this guy here, I mean, it's almost like a supercharger to that 12-volt battery. So we're going to have the ability to really have a really charged up battery, running those jacks, running lights, anything like that. That's what we need to do. We need to keep that 12-volt battery nice and charged up.
It's a great option that you guys add at Transwest to do that. Let's face it, end of a show, late at night, you're loading, you want to get home. The worst thing that you want to do is have a battery problem.
Yes.
it just makes you very frustrated.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
Yep.
All right, so we'll transition, but we're going to keep on our theme of air ride.
Air ride.
Once again, we're going to move on to the next one. It is a 2024 Cimarron Northstar 4-horse with air ride, and there it is right there, the trainer's Tack.
This is a tack room that, again, with a lot of feedback from dealers and customers. Anthony, what's a trainer tack, right? What's the reason, what's the concept of this? So, again, saddles, saddle pads, all the brushes, all the buckets can get a little stinky, right?
Yep.
So how do we separate and put a bigger tack area but still keep my front tack clean, right? In case you put an air conditioner in there, you throw a mattress up in there, you want to sleep, you're changing show clothes, you don't want that smell and all that in there. So what we've come up with is a separate side for the tack and the clean side, so that's a wall. Then let's see how many saddle racks and blanket bars and things we can put in this. So we build these, and we build a lot of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-horse trailers. So a lot of saddles, a lot of pads, a lot of tack, a lot of bridles, head stalls, and all that. So with this double door setup, you guys can see the room that we have in this thing. You can work out of this trailer, right? A step here so you can get up, load your saddle rack. So in this, our recessed saddle post, and remember guys, our saddle racks, these are adjustable up and down.
Yeah.
So a nut or on either side, top and bottom, you can adjust these. So whether you got English saddles, Western saddles, you need a little more room. The next thing is, if you want to add another one, okay?
Correct.
So if you're doing Western saddles, 5 works pretty good on here. Get more than that, it's pretty crowded. 10 blanket poles in the middle, so plenty of room for saddle pads. You can take one out if you don't do this. Same setup as our saddle rack post. So this setup here, we've got 3 recessed compartments in here. We could get 10 saddle racks in here in this trailer if we wanted to. Bridle hooks everywhere on the doors,
Yes.
brush trays. This has a 25-gallon water tank in here, so you can bring some of your own water with it. And on this side, it's got a couple shelves here. So again, the theme is versatility. You take so much with you.
Yes. And the other thing too is by having these shelves, you kind of got some places for items to live. We put some hooks there. You still have floor space too. You want to throw a tote in there. I mean, you have a mobile tack room from your barn. I mean, and a lot of people actually will. I mean, they'll say, you know, maybe they board at a barn, maybe they just travel a lot, and they're just saying, hey, I'm just going to throw everything here, and
Leave all
everything
their tack
stays
in
right
it.
here.
Absolutely. Very versatile, and I like how it just opens up
Yes.
and you can work out of this trailer. So, and the cool part is we're seeing one version of it.
Yeah.
There can be 100 versions of this kind of layout as far
Absolutely.
as size, different things we can do in it. So from the equine side, non-living quarters, probably the most versatile trailer we build.
Absolutely. And we do them, I mean, this is a 4-horse, I mean, 6 horses, 8 horses, I mean,
Absolutely.
about everything. We've done these on stock combos.
Yes.
I mean, we just got one at the lot the other day. So
Yes.
if you're wanting one of these in stock combo, we got that.
Yep, sitting there.
We'll show you the layout of the actual trailer itself, because what we just looked at here is this trainer tack here on passenger side. On the flip side of it is going to be that front dressing room. You know, we put a boot box so you can hop up in the neck. There's a shelf with a clothes rod so you can hang clothes. But again, you've got that ability to keep everything nice and clean and away from that tack.
Absolutely. And again, we have a lot of people that, again, may put an air conditioner or throw a little mattress. They can do an overnighter if they had to in there and get up and keep rolling. So
Airflow. Drops on the hip wall.
drops on the hip wall is a big, we do a lot of those with it. Standard is a 19 by 34 window that slides open. Then it's an option to do our drop down feed door. So you can close it up, cold weather, bad weather, raining, still have your sliding window.
Correct.
But if it's hot, drop it down, get some air out of there. Standard, when we do this, we don't put safety bar grills here because it's the butt of the horse. But if a customer wants that,
They
we
want
can
it.
add bars here if they're concerned about that.
Air ride.
Once you have one,
Yeah.
you're never going to pull another one. A lot of people just love that air ride. Just keeps those horses fresher.
This trailer's 8 foot wide. It is 7'4" tall, so we're extra wide, we're extra tall. It's nice to have the options that you guys give us from heights. I mean, 7'1" standard, we go 7'4", we go 7'7", 7'10", and we can keep going from there.
People say, what can I do? Length of a trailer. So height, as he talked about, 3-inch increments, okay? Width, we do 6'10", 7'6", 8", and we can even do an 8'4" on some of the stock trailers or toy hauler models. Length, 3-inch increments.
Yes.
So we can really fine tune a trailer really to whatever you want.
Yep.
I'm not saying, well, it has to be 16 foot or 20 foot's all we're going to do. We can make it whatever you want to do. So
On this one here, we wanted to just give you, again, a lot more of just the ability to take a lot in this trailer. So we have a big front tack room, we got manger storage, we got a broom closet, but we got a hay pot up top there. That way, if you want the ability to throw some hay up there, keep it nice and clean and dry, we're not getting any moisture up there, you see the lid up, open. Now, I want you to talk about that lid, because we have been dealing with this the last few years, is hail. Now, we don't have to deal with it as much on these Cimarrons because of the insulated roof, and we got to talk about that.
yes, when
But-
we get inside this trailer, we'll talk about that. But
May 9th, I remember the night well, middle of the night, we got hit with a hailstorm at the lot. And every aluminum sheeted trailer we had on the lot got hail dings. Our Cimarrons did not. Now, on a couple hay pods, because of the aluminum sheets that you guys would use on that, we had a few dings in there, but that was the extent of it. It wasn't on the actual roof. So we all said like, hey, what can we do, Anthony?
what can we do different, right? So one of the things that I'm proud to be a part of Cimarron and what we do is we listen to our dealers and customers. We don't get relaxed and say, we build the best trailer there is and kick our feet up. We want to improve our product every day, every month, and we do that by listening to our customers and our dealers. So one of the things is, Our roof, hail bounces off of it. But in our hay pod in the past, we just sheeted it with aluminum skin, okay? You guys after that storm said, man, if we could put our roof material on our hay pod lids, our Cimarrons wouldn't have had any damage on them from that door. So we got with our design team, our engineering team, and our guys in the shop and said, can we do this? About a week later, I sent CJ a text message with a video in it and go, there you go.
There it is.
And we made that change standard on it. So now, any of our enclosed pods that have a lift-up lid, that roof on that pod is the exact same material that's on the roof of the entire trailer. So not just from a hail damage standpoint, now double insulation. So you've got that roof board underneath the pod.
Yes.
Then right on top, you've got, again, that insulated roof material.
Stay tuned this summer.
Yes.
I already talked, I want to throw a thermometer in, one with the aluminum sheets that we have and one on one of these new ones, just to see.
What the difference is.
Absolutely.
In there. Absolutely.
All right, so we get to the back of this guy. We did dual doors on this back entrance. This trailer does have mangers and a broom closet on that back side. So with that, we could either do the option of one large door, or we can kind of split it and get us a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable. And then we did a ramp over at the back.
Yep, got a ramp over. Again, worm floor in here. This trailer has optional fans in it. Again, airflow is not going to be a problem in this trailer.
Not at all.
It has drop-down windows on the head side, drop-down windows on the hip side, one fan per stall.
Yes. Yep.
Talk to about the airflow dividers again.
Yeah, I mean, now with airflow dividers, with these drops, with stall fans, I mean, I tell everybody, is, if you think about a really hot day and you're out there and there's no air movement, you feel miserable. But a little bit of a breeze kicks up and you do feel a little bit better about life. Well, whether it's traffic or we get to an event where we got to wait in line to get unloaded and now all of a sudden this trailer stopped, we're not getting that airflow through it, we've got the ability to turn these fans on, create a little bit more airflow.
A little bit of air movement makes a big difference.
Yep, for sure. And with that, like on this very first stall here, we did the airflows, stud divider, but then we extended it back. Maybe you got somebody you really need to kind of separate from everybody else, a little problem child, but you still love them enough to keep them around. There's a good spot for them, but maybe it's just additional storage. Maybe on this trip, I'm only hauling 2-3 head of horses. I want to throw a bunch of shavings up here. You can stack them up and not have to worry about anything.
Falling in and out of the horse.
Yep, padded dividers, the insulated roof. I mean, we've talked about it with that, but compared to an aluminum sheeted roof, it's 20% cooler than those. And that's a big just benefit, again, to keeping everybody nice and comfortable.
I'm anxious to get your test in the hay pod when it does, but real world test, right? You can walk on your guys' lot in the summertime. Trailers are all closed up, sitting on the lot. Walk in a used trailer that you have that just has an aluminum skin roof, no thermometer, just your feel, and then walk in the back of a Cimarron. You can tell a difference in that. So think about your livestock. Think of an 800,000-900,000 pound horse in there that's going to put off a lot of heat. What's that going to do to them? The next thing is, where's their head and ears? They're right up by that.
Yep, absolutely.
So I would challenge anybody that has an aluminum skin roof, when it hits 100 degrees, lay your hand on it.
Yeah.
It's going to burn it.
Yep.
So disclaimer, don't do it, but do it. If you do that on the Cimarron roof, you can put your hand on there and touch that, right? Yeah. So it just tells you, again, by feel, how much it's saving them. The next thing is, it's quieter.
Yes.
Aluminum skin roofs going down the road at 60, 75 miles an hour, as that trailer gets some age on it, that aluminum's going to move around and stretch a little bit, and it's actually going to make noise. It's going to make a warbling kind of a rattling noise. Upsets horses, right? They're doing something they're not designed to do. They're in a trailer going down the highway, right? So they're already upset. The next thing is, every trailer, no matter what brand it is, that roof is sealed, okay, on the edges. So you need to get up on there once a year, a minimum, and inspect that sealant.
Correct.
It dries, it cracks, you need to redo it. On an aluminum skin roof, you better make sure you're standing on a roof bow.
Yes.
Or you're going to go through,
Yep.
or you're darn sure going to dent it.
Yep.
The Cimarron roof is rated to carry 150 pounds per square foot. What does that mean, Anthony? It means when you're up there inspecting it, you can walk anywhere you want on a roof of our trailer. We've even had customers that'll take a lawn chair and set up there and watch a race or something like that and use it for an observation deck.
Yeah.
So we've done that before. So it adds strength to the trailer. So if you think about a trailer that has an aluminum skin roof, they build the trailer and then they go, oh, we got a big water leak in there. We need to cover it up with something. If you look at the way our trailers are constructed in our top rail, it actually fits down in a channel in our extrusion. So what that does is it stiffens up that trailer. So it's a structural part of our trailer. Half of an inch thick. It's got UV protection on the top. We've been using it from day one.
Yes.
It's a great product. I would never own anything without a roof like this. So.
And I mean, we're at a show, so we sit around at times and tell old stories. And my buddy Bert Derryberry and I would be at a show, and I'm a ginger. I'm not built for heat. I mean, let's just be honest. So Bert and I would work a show, and we'd be at a junior nationals in July, and it's, you know, we're getting those 115 heat indexes, and we'd have an easy up 10 outside that trailer. In the afternoons, we migrate into the trailer with our chairs, because it was actually cooler in the trailer than out underneath the shade just outside. I mean, and just getting in that trailer because that insulated
and
roof.
they'd look at you think you're crazy, because in the back of their trailer they wouldn't think about doing it because it's hot.
Well, they've always wondered what we were. They thought there was a little screw loose there. Now we got to shut this left-hand door because we got to show them this ladder.
Again,
and one of the design changes,
guys, we try to listen to our customers and our dealers. Everybody's got a different way to latch a ladder, right?
Correct.
And admittedly, we looked at ours and said, this thing got too complicated, right? It really needs to be simpler, right? We don't want a bunch of mechanisms to do and rely on a rubber plunger that's out in the sun for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, gets brittle and doesn't do its job, okay? So we already use a component here, our vice latch that we use. We have them get on every trailer. Let's utilize that same component on our ladder, right?
Yes.
It's lockable if you want to, okay? So again, simple, one hand. We try to do everything with one hand. Pull that loose. There's your easy angle ladder.
Yeah, it's not a bolt-on. I don't have to climb straight up the side of that.
We try to do the easy angle ladder to make it safer than going up a straight ladder, okay? It's not as scary going up and down. We can get up there. This one's got a gate on the back. You can swing it open. If you got a bucket with a tractor, skid steer, you can set whatever you want to load in your hay pod. Again, when you're done, one-handed operation. Sets in there. If I line up the bottom, it would. There you go.
And you can lock it.
It's lockable.
Yeah.
Again, no metal on metal down here, so it's sitting in a UHMW track, so it's not clanging and banging. It's quiet, it's secure. We made this change about 4 months ago. So if you order a easy angle ladder, this is the latch system it's going to have.
And like you just showed, when you extend it out and just, again, the one-handed, you got feed bags. You got to go up and fill with hay.
Simple.
Try that with a bolt-on. It doesn't work.
It does not work.
So now it's very simple getting on and off these roofs
Absolutely.
with that easy angle ladder there.
Yep.
So.
It was a great change that we made.
So we're going to transition to the LQ. Last night we did a big walkthrough with Lance on this actual Outlaw that we're going to look at here, but this is a 2023 Cimarron Northstar 3-horse LQ. It's got a 14.9 Outlaw conversion in it, but we'll kind of start underneath and kind of work our way to the back of this trailer. Underneath, it's got a slide out, right, Anthony?
Yep.
So what do we start with?
So anytime at Cimarron you put a slide out, dual hydraulic jacks. We use the Jacks by Equalizer system, been around forever, proven product. Great partner of Cimarron's.
Yep, absolutely.
Dual hydraulic jacks. This trailer, as we see, we get back further, has the 17.5-inch 18-ply tires on it. Spares mounted underneath. You'll see they're missing now at the trade show. They don't let us have them in here, but you got space for 2 propane tanks underneath.
Those are 30-pounders that come on this trailer, and again, we just don't have them here.
Above, you're going to see a triple battery box. They've installed the red arc on this as well that he's talked about. And then as he pans over to the left, you're going to see this pump over there. This trailer's got electric over hydraulic disc brakes, and that's the pump motor to operate those electric over hydraulic brakes. Pretty clean setup underneath here. We do have the option, like on the steer wall, where you can do an enclosed front end. So you can actually enclose that, so rain, mud, snow, any of that won't get in there. So.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll keep working back. I mean, again, this is a 14.9 Outlaw conversion. This is a good showpiece. I mean, it's a good looking trailer.
This floor plan just works too. It doesn't get your trailer too long, but you've got a bar, you've got a lot of seating. It just really works well.
Yep, absolutely. Got an awning out here. We'll actually show you, we'll let you peek into the LQ and just take, again, we did a full walkthrough video last night with Lance that you can check out, but we'll let you take a peek at that. Again, a 14.9 with a slide out. So really, on this setup here, this is a 31-foot, 3-inch on the floor trailer. It's a very maneuverable trailer, getting in and out about anywhere. It's, again, not massive by any means.
Nice thing is it's something you can pull with a 1-ton dually too. You don't need a big truck for it.
Yeah, exactly. But again, Lance and I went through this trailer, showed you all the different features, talked about how these Outlaws are constructed. Again, we're very fortunate to be a Cimarron and Outlaw dealer. We're the longest tenured Outlaw dealer there is. But when you take a Cimarron and an Outlaw custom, from a warranty standpoint, we're covered for 3 years on this trailer. Yes. And that is the only manufacturer and conversion company out there in the market that can say that.
It's a great partnership. When you spend the kind of money that your hard-earned money on something like this, you want to get the best that's available.
Absolutely.
This trailer offers that. Yeah. You're getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So as we start working back, once again, Anthony.
Air ride.
Air ride, yep. So on this one here, air ride suspension, electric over hydraulic brakes, so good stopping power on this one, 18 ply 17.5-inch wheels, an SRW wheel on this one.
Yep, so SRW is it's just a different brand of wheel. Everybody's heard of Alcoa. We offer Alcoa and we offer SRW. From a cost standpoint, a little bit less. From a capacity and specification standpoint, meets the same requirements that Alcoa does from a load carrying capacity, from a PSI capacity, just a little different look, and save a little bit of money over an Alcoa wheel. So,
drop down windows again on tail side here. Yep. And then as we work our way up, this is an integrated pod. I mean, just a good look to the trailer. Boy, we're building so many of these with integrated pods. It is so popular.
It almost seems to double year after year after year because everybody just likes that sleek look to it and what it does for the trailer. So one of the challenges that we have that we're going through, as you well know, as you guys order trailers for inventory or for customers, the demand for that iPod is so we continually, how do we build more iPods? It takes a little more time to build, so it goes through our line a little bit slower, but we're trying to find efficiency so we can build more of those integrated pods.
And when we build them, in the stall area, this is one thing, and we're really good at telling everybody this, but what does it do to our ceiling height inside?
What it does is it drops it down. So this trailer is 7'10" tall, okay? Extra room in the LQ area, extra room in the bed area. In the horse area, it'll drop it down to 7'3".
Yeah.
The reason we do that is we set that pod down that lower. It keeps the trailer from getting taller at the top of the pod, and it allows you to stack hay bales in there on their side. So we've got a deeper compartment in there, and that's the reason you lose a little bit of space in there. As the trailer gets taller, we can increase that space as well.
But for example, a standard Cimarron trailer height is 7'1". So we're already, I mean, we're at 7'3", so we're a little bit taller than everything else. But
absolutely.
if you're really needing a big, tall stall area, it's something we have to consider when we're looking at height of the trailer.
When we're building that trailer, absolutely.
But then you get your side load here, so you get your door with a ramp over it. And again, it's so nice to be able to have this setup. And again, like the iPods, boy, we build more and more and more of these.
And when we walk around the back of the trailer, you're going to understand why everybody likes the side loads, right? We do that. So one of the challenges with a side load trailer is people are concerned this loading space, right? How does my horse come in and back out of this area? So when you have this divider that's straight like this, it makes this compartment just a little narrower here. So again, Cimarron's always thinking, so years and years ago, how do we improve this space, right? So it's a product we call our Breakover divider. 2 AR latches, anti-rattle latches, so no metal on metal. Now that divider breaks over. Look
how
at what
much
it
more
did
room's
here.
there. Yeah.
So from a loading standpoint, that horse is coming in. He's got a big open friendly space to go to. As he's backing out, again, more space. Doesn't feel as claustrophobic. This was a game changer for us on this. Okay.
He can get his hips and then get his shoulder turn and kind of get
And
that
come right out.
a little easier motion coming out of this actual stall area itself.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we've got stud divider at 1, air flows again,
Yep.
mangers, plenty of lights. I mean, and again, just a really well equipped stall area that we're looking at in here.
Absolutely. Very popular setup. Again, theme of the day seems to be air ride and
sir.
worm.
Yep.
So this trailer has worm flooring
worm
as
flooring.
well.
Black is standard. We were showing you some different color options for the show, but black is a standard. There's a little bit more of an upcharge on different color, but you can customize those.
Absolutely.
And one of the last things, we're looking at the floor. We have got to talk about this floor.
So this is what in my opinion, separates Cimarron from any other trailer manufacturer in the world is our floor. Anywhere that a horse or cattle or anything stands in our trailer, they're going to be standing on support, okay? Every 4 inches, you have support, okay? That would be amazing in itself.
Yes.
If we just had legs down every 4 inches. So what we did about 6 years ago is we added a V-truss, okay? I'm not a science teacher or geometry, but one of the strongest shapes in the world is a triangle. So this V-truss is shape of a triangle. This isn't welded to this. So when we get our deck board extrusions, this is an extruded part of the floor. It's totally closed in. Deck board's 12 inches, every 4 inches, and you have your V-truss. The other thing that we changed when we changed this V-truss, these deck boards have to go together. They kind of snap together. So if you think of woodworking furniture, drawers and things, they use dovetails and different joints. We used 2 tongue and grooves.
Yes.
As a trailer gets longer, a characteristic of aluminum, it flexes, it has to, it moves. As these trailers get longer, if it had 1 tongue and groove joint here, has the potential to
It's
pop.
got the ability to, yep.
We
absolutely.
changed and did 2 of them here so it can't do that. You have double the strength on these joints where all these deck boards go together. So just an amazing floor, and I just like the fact that anywhere anybody standing in this trailer, they're going to be on support.
Yeah. And let's be honest, when you're building a house, what do you start with? The foundation.
Strongest thing is the foundation.
And that's what we're standing on. You guys have the best floor out there on the market.
Yes,
Yeah.
we feel like we do.
Yep. And the last cool thing about this
Let's look at
is
the tack.
when we have this rear side load, we get to go to a full width rear tack.
The full width rear tack, everybody takes a ton of tack. We talked about it in the pin trailers and the steer walls. You just take so many things with you. Same thing in the horse trailer. If you think of what they were a long time ago, you had a little bitty rear tack over here that you could fit some saddles and some head stalls in it. So tell them about what we're doing here.
Well, and one of the other things too is a mid tack. Okay, so mid tack, a 4-foot mid tack on a slant wall. Does it work very well?
It doesn't.
No, you need 5 feet.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden we made the trailer longer. So now what we're doing is by having this at the back of the trailer, we just add a couple feet to the length, nothing major, but now we have this full width rear tack. What if somebody rear ends you? There's a lot of
There's a
buffer now
cushion.
between your horses and where they hit you. So we never want to think about those type of things, but there's always the potential of it.
Absolutely.
So it's great from a safety standpoint, and boy, talk about just a cool rear tack room. Start with the door. We got on a gas shock, 4-tier blanket pole rack, brush tray on that. Everything's carpeted. The door inside, as you can see, I swung out the 3-tier saddle rack. No different than what we looked at on the trainer tack. We can adjust those. We can add another one if we want to.
Yep. It's on a gas shock. I've got a horse, got a lead rope here. I can put this in and out by myself. I can grab this by myself.
Yes.
Wall one-handed operations.
Yep. We put some shelves in there for you. We've got the fuel tank for the actual generator is in there as well. But we try to get you a lot of hooks, a lot of lights. Some customers, we have that step that's nice getting in and out. Some customers might say, boy, I want a rear ramp on there. Well, that can be done.
Absolutely. So we talked about different configurations of tack room. Same thing with this. There are so many options we can do here. This has a single door. We can do double doors in the back. We can put a ramp. You guys have built some for customers before where there's a ramp with a flip up door if they want to take a dolly or a cart in there.
Yep, absolutely.
So there's so many options. Again, being a custom trailer manufacturer, it's really what can you dream up, right? So it's one of the great things.
I like to call a Cimarron, I mean, they're fingerprints. I mean, every one of them's different. From an inventory standpoint, we build trailers different. We want to be able to provide the versatility, and one of the funnest things is to build a trailer with a customer, because it's what do you want, and let's make it happen.
So we were in the booth last night and had some customers that want to build and spec a trailer, and it's a big trailer. It's got a lot of custom things, and so Michaela, Lance, myself sit down and talk to that customer, and what do you want? What do you want in the trailer? What do you want in the living quarters? And make that dream come true, right? And it's exciting. That's why I love getting out of Cimarron at the plant and come and work in these trade shows, really getting to talk to the customers that use these every day and get those new ideas and things that we do. So,
well, we could continue on
forever,
but I think we need a break.
Yep.
So definitely come see us here at the National Western Stock Show in Denver. Again, we're about halfway through the show, so you got the rest of this week and next weekend to wrap up. But definitely come by and see us. Come check out all these cool Cimarrons. Come visit with the staff. We're here to help you out in any way we can. Try to stay warm out there and come see us.
Come see us, guys.
Thanks, Anthony.
You bet.
Thank you.